Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to dive into a massive paradigm shift today, one that fundamentally redefines how we interact with computers. We are exploring what's known as Layer 7, and specifically, a technological leap called WYNIX. Think about the whole history of computing for a second, from giant mainframes to desktop PCs, right down to the smartphone in your pocket. It's always been this model of separation, right? Us out here in the real world, and all the data locked inside a box. Well, Layer 7 is the ultimate bridge between our physical bodies and the internet. It literally collapses that historical divide. The concepts we're unpacking today propose a total, seamless merging of digital and physical reality.
To really get a feel for this, think about this vision from Linkspreed. An internet that you don't visit, but an infrastructure you live within. Just picture your current daily routine. You'll probably pull a little rectangle of glass out of your pocket, unlock it, stare down at it, and essentially go visit the web. It's a completely separate chore. You're mentally stepping out of your physical environment to enter a digital one. This new vision completely flips that script. It envisions a network that physically surrounds you. It's a profound shift from being a spectator looking through a tiny window to literally walking around inside the house, where the digital and physical worlds are exactly the same thing.
Section 1. Merging digital and physical.
So to really wrap our heads around this shift, we need to understand the engine that's driving it, WYNIX. Now that stands for the Web4 Yield Network Integrated X Interface. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, so let's break down the mechanics of that name. The Integrated X Interface part basically means it's a cross-sensory, cross-device protocol. WYNIX is layer 7 of this whole tech roadmap. That means it's the definitive hardware layer. It is the actual physical infrastructure that drags Web4 out of the cloud and anchors it directly to your physical body and the space around you. It acts as this natural extension of man, allowing massive computing power to interface with your physical space in real time.
Think about it, for over half a century, screens have been the ultimate bottleneck. They're basically these two-dimensional sensory funnels that force us to translate all our complex, three-dimensional thoughts into tiny little taps and keystrokes. WYNIX is designed to completely obliterate that bottleneck. By finally moving past the screen, the goal is to create a totally unified experience. You're no longer navigating this awkward divide between a device in your hand and the room you're sitting in. The digital data and the physical world just weave together into one single cohesive reality.
Let's move to Section 2, the hardware root of trust. Now, naturally, if we are integrating the internet this closely with our physical selves, security becomes absolutely paramount. So the W4 phone and all these surrounding WYNIX wearables use what are called secure enclaves. This means the protection for your UIID, your unique individual identity data, happens at the hardware level, and your UIID is the cryptographic proof of exactly who you are. So why is this so critical? Well, in the tech we use today, if a hacker compromises your software, they essentially have the keys to your entire digital life. But with a hardware root of trust, the game completely changes. Even if the software layer somehow gets hacked, your identity data is locked away in an isolated, physically segregated hardware enclave. It's totally unreachable. It essentially acts as an unhackable, air-gapped vault for your digital self.
Section 3. Neural and AR interfaces. Okay, so how do we physically interact with this Layer 7 world? We do it through a highly synchronized ecosystem of devices. The core of this WYNIX arsenal is made up of the W4 phone, smart rings, and AR glasses. But here's the kicker. Instead of acting like isolated gadgets, these wearables constantly talk to each other, using incredibly fast, localized mesh networks. They work perfectly in tandem, distributing processing power and sensor data to completely replace the clunky old keyboard, mouse, and monitor.
Let's take a closer look at the smart rings. This ring basically becomes your new biometric key. So instead of typing out a password or waiting for a camera to scan your face to unlock a device, your digital security becomes completely tactile. You just touch, you gesture, or you naturally interact with objects in your physical environment, and the smart ring instantly and securely authenticates your presence across that mesh network. It takes this abstract, highly complex cryptographic security and turns it into something you can physically feel and control just by moving your hand.
Then, of course, we have the AR glasses, which step in as the visual replacement for the traditional computer monitor. These glasses project what is known as the truth premium data of Hylian directly onto the physical world right in front of your eyes. To really get this, we have to understand what Hylian is. It's a decentralized, verified data layer. So information isn't just pulled from some random central server, it's cryptographically authenticated for accuracy. That's why it's called Truth Premium. Just imagine walking down the street and seeing this highly verified data seamlessly projected onto the buildings and objects around you.
You don't have to look down at your phone to check a map or read some unverified online review. That premium, factual data is just right there in your field of vision, augmenting reality with a layer of absolute digital truth.
But hold on a second. I know what you're thinking. A massive flashing red light is probably going off in your head right now, and rightfully so. If your physical body is laced with outward-facing cameras on your glasses, spatial microphones, and constant biometric sensors on your fingers, what on earth happens to your privacy? Are we just walking into the ultimate surveillance state? Are we constantly being watched, analyzed, and recorded by this invisible infrastructure?
Section 4. Total privacy and control.
Thankfully, the source material tackles this exact concern with an ultimate failsafe built directly into the WYNIX hardware itself: physical kill switches. And this is a really critical distinction. We are not talking about some flimsy software permissions button buried 5 menus deep in your settings where you just kind of have to hope it actually turns off your microphone. No, we are talking about actual physical tactile hardware toggles for your mics and cameras. By literally breaking the electrical circuit, essentially air-gapping the sensors at the hardware level, WYNIX ensures that you are only online when you physically, actively choose to be. It is the ultimate unhackable privacy tool. It totally eliminates that modern paranoia of software-based eavesdropping.
Section 5. Escaping the device maze.
Just think for a moment about the chaotic device maze we all navigate every single day. You know the drill, the inevitable pocket pat-down before you leave the house. Wallet. Check. Keys. Check. Phone. Check. Plus, you're probably lugging around a heavy laptop bag. We're constantly managing all these separate, isolated devices, each with their own dying batteries, their own annoying security flaws, and their own distracting screens. Now imagine just shedding all of that dead weight. The real vision here is incredibly streamlined convenience. Your whole life, your payment methods, the physical keys to your house, your messages, all your heavy computing power, consolidated into just a few, elegant, interconnected wearables. When you piece it all together, the unhackable hardware root of trust protecting your identity, the blazing fast localized mesh networks, the tactile smart rings, those authenticated AR data overlays, and of course, the absolute peace of mind from physical kill switches, you arrive at the ultimate transformation. The technology finally becomes perfectly synchronized with your physical presence. You are no longer burdened with carrying around a bunch of tools just to access a network. The network yields to you. It effortlessly supports what you're doing in the real world, augmenting what you're capable of without ever actually getting in your way.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. We've explored the wild architecture of Layer 7, the rock-solid hardware security of the UIUID, and the sheer freedom of finally escaping the device maze. The blueprint for Web 4 isn't just about giving us faster download speeds or higher resolution apps. It's about a fundamental re-architecting of where the digital world actually lives and how it bends to our physical reality. We're talking about redefining human-computer interaction itself. So the question the source material leaves us with, and the question I want to leave you with today is this: are you ready to stop visiting the internet and start living in it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.